Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I know so many of you over on TikTok have been blowing up the comments asking for this, so today we're finally doing some customer reviews analysis for it. But before we dive into that, be sure to check out this exclusive discount available for it. You'll find it in the description and in the first comment under this video. Now let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
Starting things off, our first reviewer gives us their perspective.
This reviewer came to this Mesh Wi-Fi system after a long and frustrating journey with other brands. Their search began after a previous router from a well-known manufacturer was rendered completely useless by its own technical support. Frustrated, they switched to a different highly rated competitor. While that system had an outstanding user interface with great firewall and VPN controls, the hardware itself was a nightmare. The satellite nodes would constantly disconnect, even when placed less than 30 feet from the main unit, requiring endless resets and reconfigurations. It turned out this was a widely documented and unaddressed issue, making the product essentially unusable despite its slick software. After giving up on that system, our reviewer finally settled on this mesh network, and the experience has been like night and day. The setup process using the mobile app was incredibly simple and straightforward. While the web-based interface is recommended for fine-tuning advanced security settings, the client was thrilled by one simple fact: they never once had to contact product support. The system is just fundamentally stable. In the weeks since installation, it has performed flawlessly, holding all its custom settings for static IP addresses for security cameras and a network drive. A satellite node connected directly to a television has provided a perfect buffer-free streaming experience, an accomplishment the other systems could never manage. Our reviewer's only minor critique is the lack of support for the more modern WireGuard VPN protocol, as it only offers OpenVPN. Even with that small caveat, the overwhelming feeling is one of relief. This Wi-Fi system simply works, delivering the reliable, hassle-free performance that others only promised. The only regret this client has is not buying it in the first place.
Let's start by delving into the insights shared by our first reviewer.
This reviewer initially purchased the main unit of this mesh Wi-Fi system, believing their small apartment wouldn't require any extra satellites for full coverage. This turned out to be a miscalculation, as the signal from the living room struggled to reach the bedrooms at the back of the home. To solve this, our reviewer bought a standalone satellite extender, expecting a simple setup. However, the standard syncing process, which involved just pressing a button on each device, failed repeatedly, leaving the new satellite with a persistent magenta error light. Frustrated after a couple of hours, this client found a solution buried in another customer's detailed post. The fix was far from straightforward and required a more technical, hands-on approach. It involved physically connecting the new satellite to the main router with an Ethernet cable to get it on the network. From there, they had to dig into the system's advanced settings through a web browser to find the satellite's unique IP address. By logging directly into the satellite using that address, our reviewer discovered the root of the problem. Its internal software or firmware was outdated and didn't match the main router. The final step was to manually download the correct firmware file from the manufacturer's support website and upload it directly to the satellite. After this lengthy update process, the satellite finally synced correctly. Once it was all working, the performance was excellent, and the app correctly showed all devices connected. The system now provides a great signal, but be prepared for a potentially complex setup if the easy method doesn't work.
Cool, let's uncover what our next reviewer has to say.
This reviewer recently upgraded their home network setup and wanted to share their experience. Like many others, our reviewer has transitioned to working from home and needed a strong, reliable Wi-Fi signal throughout the house. Initially, they tried a simple, inexpensive Wi-Fi extender, which seemed like a reasonable solution for a short time. However, it proved to be a temporary fix, requiring a secondary network and suffering from connection instability. Our client realized they needed a more robust solution for video conferences, data-heavy downloads and uploads, especially in their new home office on a different floor where the signal was significantly weaker. After considering upgrading their internet package, they explored mesh systems and eventually splurged on this mesh router. While it was significantly more expensive than the Wi-Fi extender, our reviewer was blown away by the improvement. The system provided a solid, stable, and strong Wi-Fi signal in every corner of their home. They went from an unstable 60% signal strength to a nearly perfect 99% connectivity. The reviewer obsessively checked their internet speed and found consistent, reliable performance without any bouncing or bandwidth competition. A reviewer was impressed by the easy setup and the intuitive app. Despite not being tech-savvy, they had no problems installing or configuring the system. They initially worried about needing multiple units to cover their home, but the one router and satellite were sufficient for their multi-story house, even with the router located in the basement and the office on the top floor. Our client is thrilled with the purchase, saying it's worth every penny for the peace of mind and consistent performance it provides. They consider this mesh router a worthwhile investment in next-generation technology.
That's it for this one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. Appreciate you watching. See you next time.